Welcome to our video on exploring the mysteries of the mind and brain. In this video, we will be diving into the biology of the brain and consciousness, the mind-body connection, and how the brain interprets our experiences. Let's get started. The biology of the brain. The human brain is the most complex organ in the body, and it is responsible for controlling all of our bodily functions, thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. The brain is made up of billions of nerve cells called neurons, which communicate with each other through electrical and chemical signals. The brain also has different regions that are responsible for different functions, such as the frontal lobe for decision-making and the occipital lobe for vision. Additionally, the brain can be divided into three main parts: the cerebrum, cerebellum, and brainstem. The cerebrum is the largest part of the brain and is responsible for functions such as movement, sensation, and perception. The cerebellum, located at the back of the brain, is responsible for coordinating movement and balance. The brainstem, which connects the brain to the spinal cord, controls vital functions such as breathing and heart rate. Furthermore, the brain is also divided into two hemispheres, the left and the right, which are connected by a bundle of nerves called the corpus callosum. The left hemisphere is associated with logical thinking and language processing, while the right hemisphere is associated with creativity and spatial awareness. Understanding the complex structure and functions of the brain can help us better understand how it works and how we can improve our cognitive abilities, and also helps us to better understand and treat neurological disorders. Exploring consciousness. Consciousness is the awareness of our thoughts, feelings, and surroundings. It is what allows us to experience the world around us. In the field of neuroscience, there are several theories that aim to explain the origins of consciousness, and scientists are still trying to understand how it arises from the activity of the brain. One prominent theory is known as the neural correlate of consciousness theory, which posits that consciousness arises from the activity of specific regions of the brain, such as the prefrontal cortex. Another theory, known as the complex systems theory, suggests that consciousness is a property of complex systems and emerges from the interactions between different areas of the brain. A third theory, known as the quantum mind or quantum consciousness theory, proposes that consciousness is a quantum mechanical process and that the brain's neurons could be connected to the quantum state of the universe. This theory suggests that the principles of quantum physics may play a fundamental role in the workings of the mind and brain. Each of these theories presents a unique perspective on the nature of consciousness and the brain, and further research is necessary to determine which, if any, of these theories may be the most accurate. Scientists also study the relationship between consciousness and the brain's electrical activity, measured through techniques such as electroencephalography, EEG, and functional magnetic resonance imaging, fMRI. These techniques have shown that different states of consciousness, such as sleep, meditation, and anesthesia, are associated with distinct patterns of brain activity. Additionally, scientists are researching the topic of consciousness in animals and artificial intelligence to better understand the factors that are necessary for consciousness to arise and what are the minimal requirements for consciousness to exist. Understanding consciousness is a challenging task, and scientists have yet to agree on a single theory to explain it, but the ongoing research in this field helps us to better understand the nature of our own mind and how it relates to the physical world. What is the mind-brain connection? The mind-brain connection refers to the relationship between our mental states, such as thoughts, emotions, and consciousness, and the activity of the brain. Traditionally, the mind and brain were thought to be separate entities, with the mind being considered as a non-physical entity and the brain as the physical organ responsible for our mental processes. However, with the advent of neuroscience and other related fields, it has become clear that the mind and brain are intimately connected and that mental states are closely linked to brain activity. Research in this field has shown that our thoughts, emotions, and behaviors are closely linked to the activity of specific regions of the brain, and that changes in the brain can lead to changes in our mental states. Additionally, studies have shown that the mind-brain connection is a two-way street, meaning that our mental states can also affect our brain and our physical health. For example, stress and negative emotions can lead to changes in the brain that increase the risk of mental and physical health problems. Stress can also lead to physical symptoms such as headaches and muscle tension. Understanding the mind-brain connection can help us to better understand the relationship between our thoughts, emotions, and behaviors, and how we can use this knowledge to improve our mental and physical well-being. How the brain interprets our experiences. Our brain is responsible for interpreting the information that we receive from our senses, such as sight, sound, and touch. It also plays a role in how we perceive and interpret our experiences and perception of the world around us. This process is called sensory processing, and it is essential for our ability to interact with the environment. Scientists argue that our perception of the world can be affected by our past experiences, emotions, and expectations. So, the brain uses past experiences, emotions, and expectations to interpret the information it receives from the senses. This is known as top-down processing. For example, if you have had a positive experience with a certain type of food, you are more likely to perceive it as tasty in the future, even if the food itself has not changed. Additionally, emotions play a role in how we perceive and interpret our experiences. For example, if you are feeling anxious, you may perceive a situation as more dangerous or threatening than it actually is. Research has also shown that the brain has the ability to fill in gaps in the information it receives from the senses. This is known as sensory completion. An example is when a person is looking at a partially obscured object, their brain will fill in the missing information based on what the person knows about that object. Overall, perception is a complex process that involves the integration of information from different sources and is influenced by factors such as past experiences, emotions, and expectations. Understanding how the brain interprets our experiences can help us to better understand the nature of perception and how it can be influenced by our own thoughts and feelings. Neuroscience of emotions. The neuroscience of emotions is a field of study that aims to understand how the brain produces and regulates emotional experiences. Emotions are a fundamental part of our human experience. They are driven by the activity of specific regions of the brain, such as the amygdala, which is responsible for processing emotions such as fear and anger. The amygdala is a key player in the emotional processing, but it's not the only one. Other brain areas such as the prefrontal cortex, the insula, and the anterior cingulate cortex also play a role in emotional regulation. Understanding the neuroscience of emotions can help us better understand and manage our emotional experiences. Emotions can be classified into two broad categories: basic emotions, such as happiness, sadness, anger, and fear, and complex emotions, such as guilt, pride, and envy. Basic emotions are thought to be hardwired into the brain, while complex emotions are thought to be learned through experience. Research has shown that emotions are closely linked to the activity of specific regions of the brain, and that changes in brain activity can lead to changes in emotional experiences. For example, activity in the prefrontal cortex has been linked to emotional regulation, while activity in the amygdala has been linked to the processing of emotional information. Additionally, emotions are closely linked to physical sensations, such as changes in heart rate, breathing, and muscle tension. This is known as the body-brain connection. Managing emotions can be difficult, but understanding the neuroscience of emotions can help us to better understand the underlying causes of our emotional experiences and how to regulate them. Techniques such as cognitive behavioral therapy, mindfulness, and neurofeedback have been proven to be effective in managing emotions by changing the brain activity patterns. Overall, the neuroscience of emotions is a complex field of study, but ongoing research in this area helps us to better understand the nature of our emotional experiences and how we can manage them. Understanding cognitive processes. Cognitive processes are the mental processes that we use to think, learn, and perceive the world around us. They include memory, attention, perception, problem-solving, decision-making, and language. Each of these processes is associated with specific regions of the brain, and the activity of these regions is influenced by many factors, including genetics, environment, and experience. Memory is the process of encoding, storing, and retrieving information, and it is essential for our ability to learn and function in the world. The hippocampus, a region of the brain located deep in the temporal lobes, plays a key role in memory formation and retrieval. Attention is the process of focusing on specific information while filtering out distractions. It is essential for our ability to process and understand the world around us. The prefrontal cortex, a region of the brain located just behind the forehead, plays a key role in attention and decision-making. Perception is the process of organizing and interpreting sensory information, and it is essential for our ability to understand the world around us. The occipital lobes, located at the back of the brain, are responsible for processing visual information, while the temporal lobes are responsible for processing auditory information. Problem solving is the process of using our knowledge and skills to solve problems, and it's essential for our ability to function in the world. The prefrontal cortex plays a key role in problem solving and decision making. Language is the process of using symbols, such as words and grammar, to communicate, and it is essential for our ability to interact with others. The frontal and temporal lobes play a key role in language processing. Scientists are still trying to understand the intricacies of these processes and how they work, but ongoing research in this field helps us to better understand how we think, learn, and perceive the world. Additionally, understanding cognitive processes can help us to improve our cognitive abilities and treat cognitive disorders. Exploring the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind is the part of our mind that is not currently in our conscious awareness, but it still plays a role in our thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. It is responsible for many of our automatic behaviors, such as breathing and digestion, as well as for regulating emotions and memories. The subconscious mind also plays a role in decision-making, as it can influence our choices and actions without us being aware of it. For example, our subconscious mind can influence our choices of food, friends, and even our career path. Research has shown that the subconscious mind is also responsible for our habits, both good and bad, and that it can be a powerful force in shaping our behaviors. Habits are actions that we perform automatically, and they are often learned through repetition and reinforcement. One of the most known techniques for accessing and influencing the subconscious mind is hypnosis. Hypnosis is a state of deep relaxation where the subconscious mind is more open to suggestions. It can be used to help people overcome phobias, quit smoking, lose weight, and improve their self-esteem, among others. Also, techniques such as meditation, self-reflection, and visualization can also help to access and change the subconscious mind. These techniques can help to bring subconscious thoughts and feelings to the surface, and it can help to change negative thought patterns and behaviors. Generally, understanding the subconscious mind can help us to better understand why we do certain things and how we can change our habits and behaviors. It can also help us to improve our mental and physical well-being. Thanks for watching this episode of Exploring the Mysteries of the Mind and Brain. If you found this content valuable, please give us a like and subscribe to our channel for more informative videos. Please keep in mind that the information shared in this video is for educational purposes only and should not be taken as professional advice. If you're experiencing any mental health concerns, it's important to seek help from a licensed professional. Until next time, keep exploring the wonders of the mind and brain. Bye for now.